Okay, hey, good afternoon. Today on the show, I have Art Smith. Art, thanks for joining me today. I appreciate your time. Go ahead, tell us a little bit about yourself, Art.
Well, I presently, since I guess my entire adult life, I've resided and worked in the Dallas, Texas area, but I'm originally from upstate New York. Went to college not too far from home at Colgate University, then went right on to law school at the University of Virginia. Graduated there at 23 and came to Dallas and set up practice with a large law firm here in the trial department, and only recently have retired from that. So that's been great, and obviously given me a little more time to focus on personal things, including the training that we do for these races.
Yes, now, married and kids and everything?
No, I actually became single at my early 40s. I have four children, and at that point became the primary parent, and had to manage to take care of all of their activities and school issues and run my business at the same time. So that was a challenge. But at this point, it was so long ago.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I don't really remember too much of it. But kids are all grown now. I have four grandchildren, um, three sons and a daughter. Sons are spread out. I'm going to race in Washington, D.C. this fall and catch up with one son who lives in Annapolis, Maryland. Only my daughter is local. I encouraged all of them to treat life as an adventure, and they all went to college out of state. And the boys were like, "Yeah, we like it better away from home." So uh,
Yes.
I think I might do that differently if I had a do over.
Any of them into fitness at all?
My daughter is, but none of them are competitive athletes.
Yes.
And my sons stay in shape. My oldest son was in the military. He did a couple of year-long tours in the Iraq War in Iraq, and came back mentally healthy and very physically healthy. And he's
Yes.
managed to keep that up.
Oh, cool. Have you ever raced Hyrox with one of your kids?
No, I haven't. And it's funny because I was talking with Mark Burke earlier today, and he said he was going to do a race in Denver with his daughter. And I said, with three sons, you'd think I could at least get one of them to do a race with me. But uh, no, all four of them seem to have an aversion to the kind of intensity that Hyrox presents.
Right, right, right. Well, so how did you first get into Hyrox?
I started doing CrossFit in my mid 50s. I'm 65 now, 65 and a half. And so I just moved up a division. And I had started doing CrossFit when I was 55, and had done that for, I guess, 6 years, and then just happened to be at the gym one day when one of the younger athletes there mentioned that there was a race in Dallas in a couple weeks that involves a lot of CrossFit and some running, and he suggested that I try it. And in those days, you could get online, sign up for a race without any difficulty. And so I went into it really only knowing that, which was
Yes.
that there would be some CrossFit movements and then there'd be some intervening running.
Yes. Now, what year was that?
I was 22,
22.
the spring. I think it was like March or April of 22. It was in Dallas, and they were hosting it at a local, like a ballroom of a hotel. So we were running a lot of laps
Yes.
because it wasn't a very large venue.
Yeah, it was still pretty primitive then.
I guess here it was. I mean, I can't speak for the other locations, but that that was a challenge trying to do that race and really not know what to expect and remember how many laps to run. I showed up in my CrossFit shoes, had no idea that I was going to be doing 5 miles in CrossFit shoes. So I look back on that and as a very regrettable decision.
Yeah, yeah. So the your feet were probably thanking you for running in your CrossFit shoes.
Yeah, that was bad. And then popped out of them a couple of times
Yeah,
on the sled push. And of course, at that point, I had no idea who I was competing against.
yeah.
So in my head, I just thought, well, whoever that is, I've certainly uh, put myself at a disadvantage if I have to stop and put my shoes back on.
Right. So you started racing 22. How many total Hyrox races have you run now?
So I've done 17. I think
17.
I've done 12 solo races, five doubles races, and I've podiumed in all of them except for one. I podiumed last year. I was the by far, I think, the oldest, or maybe I just looked the oldest of all the 60 to 64 guys who ran solo at Chicago
Yeah.
and managed to get on the podium there. And then a couple of days later, did a doubles race, and we narrowly missed getting on the podium. But in all my other races, I've managed to
Podium.
make it. Yeah, and I think to some extent that's a function of the fact that there are so many more athletes, more individuals who are much more talented than I am, but who, by the time you get in our age bracket, you confront health issues, you confront injury issues,
Oh yeah.
and so the field narrows, and then in some ways that creates kind of a greater bond among all of us because we know we're the ones who are left standing, that we're still able to withstand the
Yes.
punishment that we put ourselves through.
Yep. Hey, hang on a second, Art. I'm just adjusting my. I had to adjust my volume on my headset a little bit. Oh, I just turned it off. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Hang on a second. Okay, I'm back to good. Sorry about that. I wanted to adjust my. I was getting some feedback with my audio through my headset. But you got me okay, right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, perfect. So give me your background as to, so out of the years you've been racing, how many times have you gone to Worlds?
I only went this past year in Chicago.
Okay.
The I didn't really even know about it my first year. I mean, I got the invite, but really had no idea what it involved. It was in London or England,
Yeah.
and I was still just doing CrossFit at that time. So for the rest of 22, I was just doing CrossFit, and then in 23, I did the Dallas race again, and then at that point was when I had wanted to get more into it. I just didn't have the time.
Yeah.
And with CrossFit, I could leave the office, run down, do some quick stretching, get in the workout, go back to work. But in 23, I found myself with more time after that race and was excited to sign up for more and get to as many of them as I could. Just enjoy the environment so much and have met so many great people.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I'm in awe of so many people that you get to watch at these events. So it's just feels like a great privilege at my age to just even be among them.
Yes. Yes, for sure. I know, Jeff Fisher. I know Ed Elderman, one of the guys that works out with us. Ed Corrett, all the guys that are getting, that are pushing up in the 60s. You guys are amazing. Amy, I had on yesterday, 52-year-old lady making Elite 15. And, at
Yes.
our age, still doing these races and performing well is just incredible.
Yeah. And it feels great. It makes you feel like you're fighting the aging process as best you can.
Yeah, exactly.
And that you're winning the battles. And, honestly, I don't mean to be grim about it, but in our age demo, you don't know how much more time you have when you're younger. Even in my 50s, I felt fairly bulletproof. I felt like it would be in the distant horizon before any
Yeah.
Three issues would affect me. And now, you feel gratitude every day that you are able to perform and perform well.
Yes. Yes. How
Yeah.
did you do in Chicago last year?
In my solo race, I was third.
So you made podium.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
how did you race mixed doubles or doubles as well?
Men's doubles, 60 to 64. And that was really, I think, only the second or third doubles race that I'd ever done.
Yes. And how'd you guys do in the doubles race at Worlds?
We missed the podium. We were fourth.
Oh,
We didn't miss it by much, but I mean, the three who beat us, it was well deserved on their part. So,
yes.
and it was just exciting to be there and to
Yes.
be able to do two races. I had never tried that before. That
Yes.
was my first attempt at that. And I had been at races before, and I'd seen guys in my age demo who would run multiple races. And I think, yeah, I'm not feeling this physically. I don't know how you're doing that,
Yes.
but managed to get through that.
So this year you're going to Worlds with Jeff Fisher. You and him are racing together in Stockholm, correct?
Right. We'll do that on Sunday of that week. And then I race Friday in solo.
Friday solo. Okay, good. Well, obviously we'll be there. We'll all be cheering each other on, right?
Yeah, that's going to be great. I mean, not too far away now.
Yes.
Beginning to feel more like it'll be a reality.
Yeah, it's getting to become real here real soon. Are
Yeah,
you?
and it'll be so exciting to do it internationally. Jeff and I qualified by going to Acapulco last September.
Yeah.
That was the first and only time I'd done a race outside the U.S., and that was just a ton of fun.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, just the people were so. I mean, everybody's enthusiastic at Hyrox races, but
Yes.
it was a culturally different experience and really enjoyable to see their version of the excitement they brought to the event.
Yes. Yes. I've raced Mexico a couple of times now, and it's been super fun going down to Mexico and race.
Yeah, glad I missed Cancun. That didn't sound like it was as much fun outdoors in the humidity and the high heat.
Cancun was one that you just had to go into with an open mind and say, you know what, I'm not here to PR. I'm just here to get through it and enjoy the moment of being in Cancun. It was Cancun was fantastic. I would do Cancun again. Yeah.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's a great place to be
Yeah.
outside of the race experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But anyway, all right. So, Art, give us your growing up through high school, college. What's been your sporting background or your fitness? How did you? Yeah, just give us your whole background in sporting or
I
fitness.
played some varsity sports in high school. I had an Achilles tendon injury in a baseball game. I was sliding and somebody uh, lunged to try and tag me, and their spike caught my Achilles tendon and cut it. And it wasn't, you'd like to think that this was the 70s, that medical science was pretty evolved, but they missed that and they missed cleaning it. And so not only did I end up with that injury, but I ended up with a pretty serious infection where they had to take all the skin off the back
Oh,
of my leg. And so that was a 6 to 8 month recovery back then,
mm-hmm.
followed by zero physical therapy. Uh,
Yeah.
but in college, really just played intramurals and club sports. And then it wasn't until law school, I was playing a lot of tennis when somebody suggested that I do a 10K, and I wasn't a runner at all. But once I did one of those races, I kind of picked up running and really just ran, recreationally after that. Had kids pretty young, so trying to work at a big law firm and raise a family, I was pretty focused on those responsibilities. And so the running I did was really just to stay in shape. And over the years, I managed to do some 10Ks and some half marathons, but really not out of any burning competitive desire, just more as a fun way to spend the day. And so in that sense, I feel I bring something to Hyrox that is much more, I guess, every man, every person than a lot of athletes, because I'm always running into athletes who are just amazing achievers, in college and beyond, and whether it's, triathlons or marathons or ultras or extreme sports. And yeah, I don't bring that background to it. I just ran recreationally. And then when I turned 50, I suddenly, like, I woke up one day and I didn't feel like I did the day before. Something felt really off. And sensation wise, in my fingers and toes. And then I started getting a lot of intestinal pain, and it went on for weeks. I went to doctors. After a while, it turned into intense joint pain. And after maybe 6-8 months, I had no diagnosis, and I was completely unable to exercise.
Yes.
And so I'm sorry.
Oh no, I said yes.
Yeah. So I spent the next 3 years really just in that mental state of, what is this, and how much longer do I have to be a productive attorney, somebody who can continue to earn income and provide for the family. And I eventually just kind of gave up on getting a diagnosis, and I couldn't get anybody to attempt any medication because they didn't feel that unless I had a diagnosis, it would be appropriate to. And so after 4 years, I went back and I went to a rheumatologist. I got the same old story. And I remember what caused me to do that was I had seen a commercial. I was watching a golf tournament, and I saw Phil Mickelson talk about this medication that he supposedly took for psoriatic arthritis. And as I looked up my symptoms, they seemed to mirror those a lot. I mean, I was getting to the point where I wouldn't shake hands with people. I couldn't sit for more than 5 minutes without breaking into a sweat, and and the stomach issues. I mean, I'm 187, I guess, right now.
Yes.
I'm thin at 187. I was down to 165. I mean, I just looked like the symptoms included feeling like you always had a fever. So I couldn't eat. I was always shaking. I mean, I would be, I had a law firm. I had several people that worked with me and for me, and I'd be wearing a coat, in July in my office. But I went back to the rheumatologist and I mentioned this medicine that Phil Mickelson said he took. It was just an injector pen kind of medication. And I begged for it, and I got the same story. And I think I just looked like such a sad puppy. I got to the elevator bank and a nurse called me back. And I went back in, and without really any conversation or discussion, the doctor just came in, gave me the shot. And it was unreal because within 30 seconds, I wanted a cheeseburger. And I mean, I felt like the whole fog had lifted. I was able to put pressure on my joints without any pain. And after that, it was really a matter of a couple months of medication adjustments. So for me now, I have to go in every month, get what they call an infusion. It's an immune suppressant drug. And so my training is a little bit different than that of a lot of other people, because there's about a 4 or 5 day period every month where I have to let this, I guess the really intense effects of the medication subside.
Yes.
Before I'm able to get back to full strength and train again. But all that to say, once that happened, it was one of those experiences that absolutely makes you feel like you've just been given the greatest gift than
Yes.
anyone can forget. And it's ironic too, right? Because that's what caused me to get into CrossFit for the first time. It caused me to really, try to embrace the gift I had been given. And now I get to the point where it's like, if I can't, push myself beyond a certain point, or something's hurting and I have to step back from, I was doing some lunges today, and my big toe on my right foot was just in a lot of pain. And I'm frustrated, I'm upset, and it's like, this isn't fair. And
Yeah.
then you have to sit back and go, well, wait a minute. You remember the gift that you got,
Yeah.
uh, that enables you to just function in the first place. And don't be looking crossways at it, because
Yes.
it truly is, an incredible gift. And that's why for all of us, I mean, uh, I know it's difficult sometimes to feel and practice that gratitude, but I try to stay in it as much as I can. And,
Yes.
as long as medicines continues to work, and as long as I've got, the physical ability to do it, I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is a great story, Art. So, did you ever get a real diagnosis of what was going on with you, or just some kind of autoimmune uh, disease?
Well, it was, I think the working diagnosis is rheumatoid arthritis,
Okay.
but I don't have any of the markers for it. That's why they couldn't diagnose it,
Yeah.
because they would do every test, and then they say, they put pressure in certain places in my joints, and I wouldn't have pain there, and they'd say, well, then, it's not rheumatoid arthritis, because people with rheumatoid arthritis have pain in those joints, and mine more attacks the tendons and ligaments
Mm-hmm.
than it does the joints. It gets those two. Without this medicine, I mean, I don't even know what life would hold for me.
Yeah.
So it's truly, truly amazing. And it's embarrassing because I have no clue, what research and science went into figuring out how to give people medicine like this. But
Mm-hmm.
for those of us that take it, and end up roughly, pain-free and able to function, it's pretty much of a miracle.
No, that is such a good story, Art, and yeah, it's I think many of us, especially our age, right? I think many of us have gone through some sort of difficulty. I had a cancer back when I was in my late 20s, and I remember that, and that kind of. But I was also very healthy and fit then. But it just gives me that drive today, right? That to keep fighting the age thing, bend the age curve, right? Bend it the other way. So that's just like you, we all have that little story that kind of pushes us.
Yeah, that's very true. And, I think another dimension of this for me is, as a trial lawyer, um, every day for me was a competition.
Yeah.
It really was. I mean, in
Yes.
every respect. And it was an unhealthy kind of competition,
Mm-hmm.
because rules weren't applied with uniformity. They weren't, sometimes they looked the other way in terms of applying rules, whether it be lawyers, whether it be judges. And so I was obviously I think a pretty intense advocate for my clients. So I was very competitive in that regard, and I prepared like hell. And when I felt like I was entitled to win, I wanted to win.
Mm-hmm.
And the system really didn't work in that direction a lot of the time. And a lot of the people you were dealing with really weren't very fine. I don't mean to indict my profession at all,
Yes.
but I mean, there are certain aspects of that. I'd probably, people who aren't lawyers kind of look at the legal profession in that way. But when I got into Hyrox, it really it played to that competitive side of me, the side that wanted to work hard and get a result. But in Hyrox, you basically get out what you put in.
Mm-hmm.
So I could do the hard work and I could get in the pain cave, and at least for my age
Yeah.
and what my body and would allow. My mind's a lot stronger
Yes.
than the body is, but you know, yeah, we've got issues with some of the stations and some of the judging, but by and large, if you're just racing against yourself,
Yeah.
which I typically have been, and it just feels great to be able to see that hard work pay off, and to be able to have a more empirical measure of how you're doing in terms of um, the results you're getting for the effort you're putting in.
Yes. So,
Um,
so in that vein, out of all the races you've raced so far, what's been your most rewarding weight race or your most memorable race? Or they could be two different races.
well, for a short period of time, I managed to set a world record in solo in the 65 to 69 men. So that was, I guess, I had no clue what the world record was. Somebody texted me after the race and said, "Hey, congrats on setting the world record." And I immediately looked it up, and the world record was like uh, 10 minutes better than my time.
Yeah. Was that this
And
year?
yeah,
That
yeah.
was in, was that, where was that race? Was that
It's
Dallas?
Phoenix. No, it's
Phoenix.
Phoenix where you are. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that because I think it was Jeff Fisher or somebody texted me that same day too and mentioned that you had gotten the world record that day as well because so many world records were broken that day, right?
Yeah.
Or in
Yeah.
Phoenix in general. And somebody texted me and said, "Hey, Art just got the world record in his age group too."
So I looked it up, and the world record was like 10 minutes faster than my time. So I'm like, what are y'all talking about? And then people started texting me back and saying that that was a race in London
Yeah,
where I guess somebody else used that chip. Somebody, you know,
yeah,
in their 20s or 30s used
yeah,
the chip from some guy in our age bracket. So Hyrox corrected. I didn't get, it's funny because they got to announce all those world records there, and
yeah,
they didn't announce mine. Um,
yes.
but
That's how I got text. I got text from Jeff Fisher kind of describing the situation that happened with you in Phoenix and say, no, Art got the new record. Yes. So yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's funny. So Phoenix, that would be your most memorable race so far.
I think most memorable had to be Chicago last year. I mean, that was just such an exciting experience. And it was my first time really being able to just stay for days and watch the elite racers, watch all the people in the younger age divisions who are just such exceptional athletes and just produce mind-boggling race outcomes. And I was there with my doubles partner, Michael Matoyer. We got to watch. Do you remember in Chicago when they were doing some of the younger divisions and the sleds weren't moving at
Yeah.
all?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And we got to see some of that. That was really painful to watch, to see these,
Yeah,
you know,
one of the girls that goes to our gym got one of those sleds, and it just blew her up. I mean, her sled. I mean, she took like 5 more minutes on the sled than what she normally does.
yeah, go all that way, do all that training,
Yeah,
have those expectations, and then have that happen.
yeah. What a total shame. Hopefully, Hyrox under they're so from what I understand, they're extremely profitable. I've heard their margins are exuberant, but they've got to put money back into it so to keep the race experience at a high level, right? They got to keep the equipment maintained or replace equipment frequently. And then the other thing, they have to invest in the judging too, right? They have to invest in a training program for the judges and really put together a core group of judges so that the races are called evenly.
Yeah, I mean, I, I think it was Phoenix. I can't remember where I was uh, judging, but I think it was Phoenix. 90% of the judges were being paid. They were like day labor from a day labor
Yeah,
website. They all just signed up and then just showed up.
yeah,
And some of them listened while the head judge was explaining what to do, and some of them didn't.
yes.
And so, and the burpee broad jumps or the lunges or the wall balls you end up with just really inconsistent
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Completely agree. So, um, when you first got into Hyrox, did you think this was just going to be another CrossFit type event, or did the first Hyrox kind of be like open your eyes, like holy cow, this is a little bit different? What was your first experience like?
Yeah, I went out uh, really hot, thinking that even though I wasn't running regularly at that point. I was just doing CrossFit, so whatever,
Yes,
running programmed into the workouts. But we would do Murph, and I
200
was
meters
still
would
one
be
of
easy.
the. Yeah, but I looked forward to Murph. I
Yeah,
mean, I was still able to, run pretty fast compared to a lot of others, and so I thought I'll be all right. So I went out pretty hard, and then I got to the sled push, and I thought, okay, well, I'm familiar with this, and pushed one length, shoe came off, just gasping for air. And that's when I realized this is an entirely different experience. And so just, managed to tough it out. And I think I actually won that race. And I think that's probably more a function of just how there was less competition probably 4 or 5 years ago
yeah,
than there is today. I doubt with the people who are running today that I would have,
yeah.
been in the top 10. But, like so many people, I just thought it was just the greatest thing ever. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
So let's go through what is your training week like now? How do you train for Hyrox?
well, up until about a month ago, I simply did whatever uh, came to mind on a particular day. So I can't, I read a lot of articles. I listened to a lot of people speak um, on podcasts or, in what they posted. And I tried to, construct something. And so I would uh, try to do a long run one day a week, a fast run one day a week, and then a compromise run one day a week. And then
Mm-hmm.
fill in the other days, either with, some core work, some strength work, um, some cycling, some stationary bike work. But I really didn't have any kind of structure that was based on any tried and true methodology. And I guess about 4 weeks ago now, I just decided, well, if I'm going to go and I'm going to do 2 more races, and I've got what, 8, or I think at that point it was like 10 weeks left to
Yeah.
get ready, that I was just going to put myself in somebody else's hands. And I think it wasn't that I was just cavalier about it, or I didn't care, or I just thought I knew something other people didn't. I think it was more with the physical limitations that I have. I also have some significant scoliosis. I still have the right leg is still atrophied compared to my left leg,
Yeah.
from 6 months as a teenager of really not using it, not getting any rehab. So with the issues that I've got, with the age that I am, I thought, I should be the judge of uh, how hard I push myself. And that wasn't, now that I'm working on somebody else's programming, I realize, and it kind of takes me back to CrossFit, where um, there's something set for you to try and achieve.
Yes.
Now that I have something to try and achieve, that's measurable, it's been much more exciting to go to the gym every day and work out.
Yeah. So
So I'm
who's
doing somebody else's programming now, and um, it's interesting because it's so much different than the way I approached it.
yeah, whose programming are you currently following?
Well, the coach that I contacted was Kara Mobley.
Oh
She's
yeah, yeah,
local and had been with Hyrox forever, and she's an incredibly accomplished racer herself and really involved in the community. And I just reached out to her, and she um, is part of the holistic athlete
Yeah.
group.
Yep.
And so that's the programming I've been doing. And I get it. And I look at it and I think, maybe I can do this.
Yeah.
But
So
I try not to let my age or my issues get in the way now, because I got, what, if I can just manage another 6 weeks of this,
yes.
we'll get to see.
Yep. So when you do train, do you prefer to do group training, or do you prefer to do training solo, or a combination?
Well, I think I would prefer to train in a group,
Hmm.
but the only guys I know locally who I could join are really, really great uh, racers in their late 20s, early 30s, and I just can't hang with those guys. So, and I've tried. They include me every now and then, and I give it my best. And that's been great, right? Because you feel like um, you want to stay up with them, and you
Yeah.
want to push yourself as hard as you can. It's a lot easier to forgive yourself uh, not going 110% when you're all by yourself.
Yeah.
But I don't really have anybody in my age demo or even close to it. Even
Yes.
in your age demo that I know locally that I could work out with on a regular basis. So
Yeah. Too
just
bad you're not out here, because our little workout group, we've got several guys that are in our 50s and 60s that work out together. At least on Saturday, we get together. We do our 1 day of
yeah,
training together.
yeah, I've seen what you post, and it looks like you've got a great community and a lot of
Yeah.
people who.
Yeah. It's a fun group. Fun group.
Yeah,
Um,
it's funny because I try to get people from our CrossFit gym to get into Hyrox,
yeah.
and just zero interest.
Zero interest. Yeah. They're
It's,
like, I'm
it's
not
that
about it.
whole exactly. It's that, and it's almost that I throw barbells around and I don't run, and I see that as a source of pride,
Yes.
and that,
Yes.
that was the attitude.
Yep. Um,
And they're all in great shape. They just don't want to do the running.
right. 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 So it's funny at our gym, people have asked me to put together some fitness competitions, and the ones that are more CrossFitty want to see less running in the little competitions or challenges. They're like, hey, that's a little too much running.
Yeah,
So yeah, I know the CrossFit type. They want barbells.
yeah, and again, not to sound like I'm making excuses for myself, but I will say, when you get up to this age, every day is a decision about how many miles you want to put on your legs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And now I'm letting somebody else make that decision for me for 8 to 10 weeks. But for me, a long run would be an hour and 10 minutes, and I would say, okay, I'm safe. I did this, and uh, I'll live to fight another day. And then I get this programming, and it's like, okay, your run today will be an hour and 45 minutes, and so that I'm giving it a go.
Yes, yes. So let's say somebody new with a little bit of fitness background comes up to you and says, "Hey, Art, I see you running these Hyrox races. I have never run a Hyrox race, but I'm interested in getting started." What's your advice to that person that wants to get into Hyrox?
Advice to them. Again, I guess I would try to find out what their background is and what their goals are, and whether Hyrox really is something that they could stay committed to, right? And I appreciate the fact that in the races we do, you see a lot of people who are just doing it for the fun of it,
Yeah,
who don't, push it with the objective of getting on the podium or going to worlds, and so that's great. So I think it all kind of depends on what they want to get out of it.
yes,
But I think if they say they want to do well, then you have to remind them that they need to be committed to a program of running that maybe they haven't been accustomed to.
Sure,
I
sure.
think people come out of a running background, a triathlon background or a marathon background. I think they have and this is just my personal opinion, but I think they can adapt more quickly to the strength demands um, than somebody who has just focused on strength and short bursts of exertion can adapt to the running part of it.
Yes, yes, I
Yes, yeah.
agree. The runners, the triathlon, the marathoners, they've got that big, huge endurance base already. Now that's all they got to
Mhm.
do is throw in a little bit of the strength component, and they're off to the races, so to speak.
Yeah, I know you mentioned, my doubles partner Jeff, and I hope you get a chance to talk to him. He's very humble, but he just, mentioned to me at one point when we were together, yeah, when I was, in the Olympic trials for men's cycling,
Yeah,
and I thought, wow, that's incredible. You've been doing this for your entire adult life, and you had that level of, commitment that early. But I mean, he's stayed involved in cycling. He's stayed involved in triathlons,
yeah.
and so
Well, that speaks
the
to your fitness too, that you're able to race doubles with him. Because
well, yeah, thanks.
yeah, because to keep, just think about that. You're keeping up with somebody that's been basically a world class athlete, and you're 65 with not, you weren't an Olympian or you were just a guy that enjoyed fitness, and now you're able to run a race with, somebody like Jeff Fisher and keep up. That's a testament to your, your fitness and your attitude.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And when you talk to him, remind him that I beat him at Worlds last year in the solo race. Uh, but,
Poor Jeff.
yeah, I know. I mean, Jeff holds the world record in I don't know how many different age, and I think he's got the world record in mixed doubles, 65 to 69, world record mixed doubles, 60 to 64. He's got the fastest time in 60 to 64 pro
Yeah.
doubles, which doesn't really count
Yes.
for
Yes.
anything. So he's great, and it's great to race with him because again, it's somebody you don't want to let down, and that enables you to find another gear when you're with somebody who you want to make proud of you,
Yeah.
and you don't want to let down. I mean, at least for me, that really does drive me the desire to you know perform at a level that he can be proud of as well.
Yes. 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 A good challenging partner.
Yeah,
Yeah. It
yeah,
really, in doubles, when you get that partner that really pushes you and you push them, that is, I think it's almost, I don't want to say it is. It's a different race from solo, but at the same time, it also, when you have those two partners pushing off each other, it's tougher than solo in a way. Because at solo, you will fall back to your kind of comfort zone, although it's not really a comfort zone, but you'll fall back a little bit, right? In doubles, if your partner starts pulling in front of you, it's like, okay, I got to do what I got to do to keep up, right?
right,
Yeah, so
right,
it's a
exactly.
different. If you're racing doubles competitively, there is no. You might as well be racing. I think it's almost more. It's more difficult or more hard or intense than a solo race.
Yeah, and I don't really have as much knowledge at my command about the stores of energy we have and the forms of
Yeah,
energy we use. But the one thing I really know at my age is in a doubles race, it's exciting to be able to go super hard. And then just that 30 seconds of rest,
yeah,
or sometimes it might be a minute, depending upon the station. Uh, I can recapture a lot of my, I guess, my total performance level.
yeah. You
Uh,
recover really. You recover
yeah,
quickly in that 30 seconds or that little bit of time that you have.
yeah, yeah. And then, and that's a fun aspect of doubles too, right? To be able to always be at almost peaking when you're at any particular point in the race,
Yeah,
and not in your head thinking, "What do I have left in the tank?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What can I what can I give to the station, or what do I need to reserve?"
Yes, yes. So at Hyrox, what is the one station that you think you can control the station? You're in command. You feel, and it's just the station that you just feel you can crush that station.
Probably the rower.
Hmm.
I think I'm just built for that. With the scoliosis that I have, I end up with a short torso, long legs, long arms, um, and so I can I can perform at a high level on the rower and still not really drain myself the way I would in some of the other stations.
Yes.
Yes.
So the other perspective now, if there's one station that like I hate this station, I wish we could replace it with something. What station would you remove from Hyrox, and what would you replace it with?
Oh, it would have to be the lunges. As the guys who know me and who have raced with me realize that I just finally the lunacy of banging my knees in lunges regularly caught up with me at Worlds last year, and now one of my knees just doesn't want to take any kind of ground contact, and I'm sure some of that has to do with my autoimmune disorder, but it's now it's a challenge for me to train that station
Yeah.
to endure the pain of that particular event. The weight and the movement is really not the issue for me, but that is now. So just on a personal level, I'd replace it. And there's also, as you pointed out, I mean, it's one of those stations where there's subjectivity
Yeah.
associated with it as far as judging, and so uh, you can watch, and again, this I guess is more applicable to people who are trying to get on the podium and trying to compete at a really high level and what have you. And when you see um, the standards not being met, it can be a little bit uh, of a gut punch. I've always thought that a perfect substitute for lunges would be the assault bike.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's an echo bike or assault bike, but something that works both your legs and your arms. And again, completely, it's like the rower. It's just another erg kind of event where, I mean, you've got to do the work and you've got to reach a particular destination before you can get off the machine. And I think it would be cool too, because it's that particular exercise really challenges you to decide how hard you want to go,
Yeah.
and how to know how much you can give to it and how much you still have left
Yes.
to be able to finish the race.
Yep. Plus, I think if you put in the assault bike or echo bike, it takes the ambiguity out of it. It takes the judging aspect away from it. Like it becomes more like the skier in the row, where it's just there's really there's nothing you're really going to screw up there, right? Except for if you make some minor mistakes. But it eliminates the judging aspect.
Right, for
Yeah.
sure. And I don't know enough about the evolution of Hyrox to understand how they came up with the movements that they did, but I wonder if people would look at a bike at that point in the race the way they look at the lunges, because
Yeah.
everybody looks at that as sort of a very pivotal point in the race to
Yes.
see it. And,
Yeah. I
um,
agree. Agree. Um, So on race day, while out there racing, have you had any embarrassing moments or any moments where you underran or overran or almost missed a station? Have you or penalty? Have you ever had anything like that happen to you yet in a race?
well, the guys that I've done doubles with will attest to the fact that I'm notorious for at least once every race turning the wrong way once I enter the rock zone. It's just I'm just delirious, or I've got something else on my mind, or I've convinced myself that the next station is somewhere that it's not. But fortunately, I've gotten to the point now where that's a 5 to 10 second mistake, as opposed to I remember one race where I just ran around in the rock zone for probably 30 seconds or 45 seconds before I could figure out where my next station was. But I had one race early on where I ran an extra lap, and didn't know it until after the race was over. And then I looked at my splits and I realized that, yeah, I had just lost track of where I was in space and time.
Yeah, same
But
thing right
probably
here.
the most interesting thing was all you guys that are so ripped and so lean that can race without your shirts on. I wanted to be in that group, but for probably my first 10 races, um, I thought, gosh, I need to spare everyone the atrocity that I would present if I took my shirt off and raced.
Yes.
And I was I, I had gone to Atlanta, and there was nobody there that I knew. And so I was in the warm up area and I took my shirt off. I said, I'm going to run this race without my shirt. Maybe I'll gain a minute or so. Who knows
Yeah.
if the body temperature is lower.
Mm-hmm.
To the tent, and they had just mixed me up with, I think everybody at one time had been a D1 linebacker, and they were still, in their 20s or 30s, and they all uh, were just utterly ripped, tan, not a hair on their upper bodies, and I uh, I couldn't. I mean, and you're in there for, you can be in there for up to 10 minutes, right? I'm sure I
Yeah.
was in there. Yeah. I was so in my head for about 5 minutes where it's like, I can't do this. I can't do this. So with like 2 minutes left, I decided I'm going to go get my shirt. And as I walked out of the tent, the person who checks you in and makes sure that that's your group,
Yeah.
your heat, thought I was quitting. And she looked at me with these big sad eyes and saw, I'm sure because of, how old a guy I am. She's like, you can do this. She, no, you go right back in there and you do this race. You can do it. And so I'll just be right back.
Yeah. I just got to go put my shirt on.
Yeah, and now that's just not even an open question. Is
Yeah.
I'm gonna race with the shirt on until the very last race I do.
Right, right, right. Well, coming up here at I can't believe it's already the end of the race season, but we got New York coming up here. Are you racing New York by any chance?
No,
Okay, so
no,
just getting ready
just
for
don't.
Stockholm.
Yeah. When is New York? It's the weekend after this one, right?
Yeah, it's no, it's May. I race on May 30th.
Oh, May 30th. So
Yeah,
it's,
2 weeks, three
wow, that's
weeks.
pretty close. I think that's probably why I didn't sign up for it. It's, it's just that close to Worlds. Good for you.
Yeah, I signed up just to go run with James from the guy that I raced with last year. Um, we're just going to go run pro doubles and kind of a warmer upper for Worlds.
And you're doing two races at
Yeah,
Worlds, or are
right
you
now
just
it
doing
looks like
doubles?
I'll definitely race my mixed doubles with my lady partner Jess, and then my male partner Tim has got a sports hernia. So, but he's right now he's like 90% sure he is going to race. So, if he races, those will be the two races I'll do. If he has to drop out, then I'll do my solo and I'll do my
Oh, right.
yeah, and I get to race one more time with the 50 to 54-year-olds because I qualified when I was still 54. So I get to race in that age group one more time. I still get to be a 50 to 54-year-old.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
age you qualify. Yeah, so even if you qualify, so I qualified in August in Japan. So I
Uh,
qualified there. So I turned,
so if you accept that invite,
yeah,
you're committed to that. If you
yeah,
had waited and run another race at 55 and qualified again, you could have run that if
yeah,
that was the one you accepted.
yeah. Next year, I'm going to switch my strategy around. Next year or this next season, I'm going to race doubles the first part of the season. And then once I get into the back half of the season, that's when I'm running my solos. Because if I qualify mixed doubles and doubles, I love racing those, right? Uh, and then I won't pay for the ticket to go race World solo. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then I still enjoy doing the solo races, so I'll do a mixture of solo races in the back half of the season. Plus, the other thing I think the doubles races really prepare you well for the solo race, right? Like I think if you race doubles in the front end of the season and then go over to solo, I think that, like I get a really good push from both of my lady partner and my male partner. And I
Mhm.
just think it's great kind of pre-race, pre-solo training, right? It's just great conditioning.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, at least that's the way I'm approaching this next season.
Well, that'll be interesting to see if that works out
Yeah.
the way you
Crazy
think it might.
crazy how fast tickets for these races are selling out. Tampa, I think, sold out like in a matter of minutes the other day. Just insane.
It's funny because after Worlds, Jeff uh, has a birthday, and then that qualifies us to run doubles in the 65 to 69 instead of 60 to 64. So we're going to be I'll be with the youngsters, myself at Worlds.
At
But
Worlds.
so we said, all right, we'll run Tampa to qualify,
Yeah.
hopefully qualify in the 65 to 69-year-old division for Worlds next year. So we were together, and I had managed to get in the queue for the ticket, and it's making me uh, volunteer or to raise money.
Yeah. So charity
And
ticket.
yeah, but that was the only one and it wasn't a charity ticket. I mean, I had checked the box for regular doubles, and I saw after the fact in the Facebook group for Tampa that this happened to a lot of people, where
Ah.
even though it wasn't, I hadn't checked the charity box, it was asking me, it was requiring me to check that box in order to move forward, which made me think in my head, well, if I do that, we won't be in the competitive division for the race. I wasn't sure. So we ended up not having early access, even though we were both associated with gyms that enabled us to try for it. So then we decided we would try for it the other day, when it opened for general tickets, and I don't know, we just got lucky
Oh wow.
because 5 minutes is all it took
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, for it to be completely closed to others, and that's amazing. I mean, it's kind of sad,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Art, good talking to you this afternoon. So we'll see you in
yeah,
Stockholm.
you should.
What day are you leaving to go to Stockholm?
The Monday of that week,
Monday. So the
if
15th, I
all
think that
goes to
is.
plan. Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about you?
We leave on Tuesday, get there Wednesday.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then are you going to hang out and do any tourist stuff? Or are you just going to go out there, race, and come home?
Yeah, just race and come home.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if I had a traveling companion, I'd have probably stayed, but just being, going there solo, uh, I just am interested in the experience of being in Stockholm around everybody else, and then
Yeah. 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 Well, you go to Chicago last year. It's so much fun. It's just so cool to be a part of the world's experience.
yeah. Are you sticking around,
Yeah,
or
my
are you going to
family,
do?
we're gonna stick around and do tour Sweden and Norway and do some of the
Oh
famous
wow.
hikes out there and all that kind of stuff. So that'll be fun. And then I'm kicking around the idea. There's a Deca Ultra in Chicago in July. Have you heard of the Deca Ultra?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about signing up for the Deca Ultra in Chicago. It's
Where are they
kind of
holding that?
it's at Navy Pier, and I think it's on July like 20th. It's on a
Oh,
Saturday.
okay.
So, one of my friends, Ed Carrat, has done the Deca Ultra. He holds the best. He has the world record time in his age group, 55 to 59 in the Deca Ultra. So I figure why not? Might as well go out there and give it a try.
Have you run a lot of those races?
No, I did my first Deca mile about 3-4 weeks ago. So I got my feet wet with DECA, and now I understand how to train for it a little bit. So um, yeah, it's I think the two are very compatible, the DECA and the Hyrox. The
Mhm.
DECAs are a little less demanding, but this DECA Ultra just started, I think, within the last year and a half or so, and it's kind of like they upped Hyrox with an ultra fitness race because it's
What are
taking
the running
guys.
intervals in that race?
They're 500 meters, but you end up doing.
Just still 500 meters
Yeah,
only
but
in the.
at the end of it, you end up running a 25K.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it ends up being 25K and 50 workstations.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Ed Karat did it. I think Ed did it in like 3 hours in 9 minutes, 3 hours 10 minutes, something like that. But if you look in that age group, it takes everybody 4 hours plus to do
Yeah.
the. He's Ed's just a. Have you met Ed Karat?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you'll meet him at Worlds. Super good guy. Super, super, super good guy. And just one of those guys, just like you, just like Jeff, just out there being the best human being they can be, right? The fittest version of themselves.
Yeah, look forward to it. I think in a race like that, I'd probably make so many wrong turns that uh, I'd need a chaperone to get
Yeah.
me through it.
Well, you know what? You repeat the race. You actually repeat the race 5 times.
Oh, okay. So
Yes.
it's
So it would be like, let's say, doing
10
Hyrox, but
stations, five
repeating it.
times.
Yeah. Yeah. Like repeating Hyrox 3 times would be probably the
Okay.
equivalent. Yeah. Yeah. And they
So
have
it's just
all.
those standard 10 stations that they
Mhm.
typically do in those races. Yeah.
Yeah. So you go through it all one time and then you go through it another. And they actually set up like a little aid station for yourself with gels and water and stuff because you're not going to do the race nonstop.
Right. So you can bring your own to that and then leave that there and
Yeah.
tap into it when you want to.
Yeah. Your own nutrition, your own drinks, everything.
What do you typically consume during a race, if anything?
I don't. I pre-hydrate. Like I start like 3 days before, and I'll hit the electrolytes, a lot of water. I just way overdo it. Yeah, way overdo it with water and pre-hydrate. And then during a race, I never really feel. Only occasionally do I feel the need to actually stop and throw some, get just a quick drink of water. But I can typically, I think 90% of my Hyrox races I've done without even taking a sip of water.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, yeah. I've
But
never
I
never
but
developed
I do
that.
feel like I bonk at the wall balls, and maybe I would benefit from you know doing something. But it's hard for me to do those gels, and
Yeah,
uh,
me
they're just
too.
too thick for this one.
I can't get my if I try to do a gel or try to get water, I can't calm my breathing enough to get the gulp down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't need it. I'll just keep going.
yeah. I know that finding something during a race that you can tolerate and that actually gives you a boost would be a good thing. I've just never found what that would be.
Yeah, yeah.
I made a mistake one time early on of instead of grabbing water, whatever it was that they had
Red
next to
Bull
the
or was
water,
it?
I think it was Red Bull. And I just grabbed up in a bad way at the rower, and
Yeah. I
that was not
I
a
was at a
great
race
decision.
and I know this probably happens all the time, but guys still will douse their head even though we're not supposed to douse you're not supposed to rapid cool with water. A guy was throwing, people used to get over the garbage bags and throw water over their head. Well, the guy grabbed a Red Bull and I saw him go right to the Red Bull because they have water and then they'll have the Red Bull. He grabbed the Red Bull
Yeah,
and doused himself, and I was running by. It made me laugh as I was going by. I was like, "Oh God, the guy just doused himself with Red Bull."
yeah, that sounds like something a lot of people would do
Yeah.
in a state of delirium. Yeah, have you ever been past that running the water station where you need to be super careful or you're
Oh
going to take a
yeah.
huge spill? Yeah,
Yeah, in new racers, when they talk to me and they ask me about, hey, what advice do you have for me on race day? I'm like, hey, there's going to be water stations and there's going to be water on the floor. And some of those concrete floors in those venues, if there's water on them, it's like ice, right?
yeah,
And that would be a sure way to take yourself out on race day, to slip and take yourself out on race day. So that's one of the advice things I give to new racers. I'm always like, be careful around the water stations, especially if the water's beyond those mats. Like the mats are nice because you can actually kind of run on those and you don't have to worry about slipping. But when the water's outside those mats, that's when you got to worry, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's
Uh,
one piece of race
I've
day
seen
advice.
people fall there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to do, right? Or even just do one of those quick slips and then you end up pulling something or throwing something out of whack and then it take you out of the, just take you out of the race.
Yeah. You ever been in a race before where you've been held up because there's been like a cardiac event?
Yeah,
Or, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's pretty sobering.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was Vegas last year. We were in doing team relay and huge group of us, around a team relay. And there was a guy that was, fairly big, I would say, and not necessarily the quote look of fitness. And he got back. I saw him come into the relay zone, and he looked pretty beat up, right? He was red and flush. And as I was standing there, I heard the crowd kind of a commotion. And I turned and I looked, and he had gone down on the ground. And when I saw him, when he was down on the ground, it looked like life left him. It looked like his soul left the
It
body.
wasn't a station, it was on the track.
Yeah, it was actually in the team relay, you're all in there in that big
Oh,
gaggle of
okay.
people. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
right in
yeah.
that gaggle of people.
Oh,
And
wow.
three ladies jumped on him right away and started doing,
CPR.
well, assessing and then CPR and everything.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he
Wow.
was down on the ground in such a way that he was like just, it didn't even look like he was sleeping. He looked dead. That's how bad he looked laying on the ground. And they worked on him. Then the race directors, some of the Hyrox medical staff came over and were assisting. And then the medics came over. And then it was funny that was one of the nights that I was there late. And I talked to one of the race directors and I said, "Hey, how did that guy end up?" And they said, "Man, they got him over to the first aid station, and he got up and was sitting on the gurney and was talking. And then obviously he bought himself a night in the hospital. But
Hmm.
yeah, he ended up, they brought him to."
Yeah, I'm trying. I know in Acapulco we had an event or something similar to that. I can't remember if the guy actually made it or he didn't.
Yeah,
Jeff may remember,
yeah,
but that was pretty scary.
yeah. It is kind of
Have you
scary
ever
to
had
see.
your heart? Have you ever had any testing, anything done to assess your heart health? Because I know we're all fit. We all think. I saw some post on Facebook today that some fairly well-known racer, I don't know who he is, and I don't think he was a Hyrox racer, had a cardiac event at a race and died. And it turned out that he'd had bad arthrosclerosis and didn't realize it.
Didn't realize it. Well, me as a pilot, I have to go every 6 months and do an FAA medical, and once a year, that medical involves an EKG. So I do have a regular EKG done, which is, but then I also I have my Whoop. I have the Whoop MG, and
Mm-hmm.
that gives you some pretty good, heart function, blood pressure, that kind of stuff. But I've never had a real, like, any kind of scan done of my cardiovascular
Nor have I.
system.
And I think, for that racer, the impression I got was that they, because he was so fit, his blood pressure was great.
Yeah,
All his markers were perfect.
yeah,
Just had no idea that, he had that
yeah.
uh, just kind of waiting on him at some point.
Well, I think if you've made it this far at our age, right? I'm 55, you're 65. I think if you made it this far, I think we're pretty safe. It's usually, those heart conditions usually manifest themselves like with the college athletes, right? You'll hear about it like
Oh, the
once a year.
myocarditis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, where the basketball kid goes down on the court, and
Yeah.
it's just sad, but that's usually when those things manifest, is like college years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you make it to our point, I think we're pretty safe. Although, I do read, what is it? We as runners and cardio people, we actually have more plaque in our arteries than regular people.
Is that right?
Yeah, we have more. There's a doctor that I follow on YouTube, Dr. Brian, and he goes through all these like studies, and he's a very fit doctor, and he's into fitness. But it's interesting to hear how we actually have more plaque in our arteries than the normal population. Um, but yeah, and I couldn't even comment on it. But yeah, it's just kind of normal for people that are in uber good shape like we are to have more plaque in our arteries than the normal population.
Does that
And it
present
has
danger?
no, it has no
Or
effect on our. There's no. In fact, we have a
it doesn't
less.
create buildup or narrow the.
No, it has no effect. It has no significant impact uh,
Interesting.
on our lives or our fitness abilities. Yeah, it's just something they don't. I don't think they fully understand why. That's why like I go see a sports med doctor every couple of months. Actually, every like 6 months, because we are a different thing. We're not the normal population. When you're in the fitness, the shape that we're in, we're not normal. So to go to a normal doctor and they look at us and they see our blood work and they look at, hey, why is your heart rate only your resting heart rate 44 or 45, right? Like, and they don't understand uber shaped fitness people. But when you go to a sports med person that actually understands us, they're like, oh, this is normal because your white blood cell
Right.
count is up because you worked out really hard yesterday, and that's why your white blood cell count is up. So yeah,
Yeah, have you ever had that happen with like a kidney function test where that
yeah,
EFGR is out of
yeah,
whack? And I go to a regular doctor and they're like, you have stage three
yeah,
uh, kidney disease. You
yeah,
know, your renal failure is on the horizon for you, sir. I'm
yeah,
like, yeah, I don't think so.
yeah, yeah. No,
But
it's
and,
in fact, if I use Grok, I get blood work every 3 months, and I feed it into Grok, and Grok AI knows who I am based on my the fitness information that I put in, my Hyrox results, all that information. So I feed in my blood work, and it'll analyze my blood work, and it'll say, "Hey, this
oh,
is
very
this way
cool.
because of this. This is this way because of this." Yeah, it's really cool tool to have.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I need to do that.
yeah. So
Um, well, it's been great talking to you. I appreciate the time. I look forward to seeing you soon. Stay healthy.
yeah, yeah. You stay healthy
Don't hurt
too.
yourself.
Yeah, and then we'll see you
Don't
in.
overdo it in New York.
What's that?
I said, don't overdo it in New York. That's the
No,
last thing
no,
you need
no.
is to
Yeah.
pull something or, you know, end up, because you see, how many times have you seen somebody saying they need a new partner like 3 days before
Yeah,
a
yeah,
race
yeah,
because
yeah.
their partner just
My
got
partner went
injured?
down. Yeah. No, so far, knock on wood, I have raced the better part of the season healthy. Although 2 weeks before Phoenix, I did something to my left leg where I could not run. I couldn't, I thought it was, oh, there's a condition. Anyway, I forget what it was, but I did something to my left leg. I couldn't run, blah, blah, blah. So I took it easy for like 4 or 5 days, 6 days, and then gradually worked myself back into running again. And magically, everything came back to me like the week before Phoenix. But like
Wow.
3 weeks before Phoenix, I went to like I went to the doctor. I went to the physical therapy
Yeah.
guy, and oh god, yeah, I tried everything.
And it's your hometown race. And
Yeah, yeah, and I had 5
yeah.
races to do in Phoenix too.
Oh my God.
So
Well, how are you handling that mentally?
oh god, I wasn't handling it good at all because I was like, here I'm all hyped up, Phoenix, the hometown, right? And
Five
then
races.
yeah, and then to have this whole leg thing come up where I got done with a workout at one of the gyms I go to, and I did a Hyrox kind of specific workout that day. And I got done and I had a stand like where they keep all the boxes for box jump and all that stuff. And I had to just stand there for a minute. And in my head, I'm like, I can't even walk to the car. And I'm thinking, I'm going to have to ask somebody from the class to like
Uh,
assist me
uh,
to my car. And I grit my teeth and I just hobbled to the car and I could barely get into it. So that's how bad it was. This little, whatever I did to my leg,
you have no idea what it was that the mechanism of the
no,
injury.
it emanated from my left piriformis.
Okay.
and it was a streaking sensation all the way down my leg, all the way down and partially up my back. So something nerve.
Right.
So whatever I did, they couldn't diagnose it really at all. But yeah, I just got so lucky that whatever it was, it managed to go away.
Yeah, that's great. Well,
Yeah.
that's probably a function of how finely tuned you are as an athlete that you could recover that fast.
Yes, I
Because
was
it sounds
just
like piriformis syndrome, and that typically doesn't
yeah,
go away that
yeah,
fast.
yeah. Well, I do have piriformis syndrome. So I can't do more than like 8 to 10 miles on my long days because if I do more than 10, my right side piriformis will blow up to the point that I'm cooked for like the next 2 3 days.
Hmm.
Yeah, so 12 miles is about my max right now.
Wait till you're 65, sir. If you're still going
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
distances, that would be great. Do you foresee continuing to race in Hyrox for
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
foreseeable
yeah.
future?
I
Just going
will.
to keep going until you're 70?
As of today, yeah, ask me today, and I'll be in there for as long as the sport stays fun for me, interesting, and the community. The community's a huge draw, right? Seeing the
Right.
people, it's almost like a mini vacation for me when you go to these different cities and go race, and you see people, and so you end up jabbing for 5 10 minutes with everybody. It's just so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's very cool. I hope I can continue. Got to get to the place mentally where it's like if I like with these lunges, if I can't continue
yeah,
to perform at the high level that I perform at now, whatever that is, then I'll still do it just because it's such a great experience.
yeah.
And
Well, even if you got to the point where, let's say, something like the lunges, where you're a big stickler in the race, right? You could always run doubles and have your partner do the lunges, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah, yeah. That's what my
Yeah.
position might be at Worlds. I may end up, if my partner's Tim is still struggling with these issues. He can run, but he has a super hard time. Oh, there's the puppy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, hey,
This is,
Dad, let me in on the camera here.
she's like, you've been on this call way too long. It's time. It's me time now. I
Yeah,
get to go
yeah.
out and run. But yeah, so you'll have to do some of the work.
Oh, I'll have to do.
Yeah.
I may have to do all the lunges and do all the wall balls, which I don't mind because those are two stations. Even at the pro weight, I just grind through it. It's not a big deal. But I'll definitely be more compromised in the run, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but that's all right. It'll get us through the race.
Yeah. I hope that works out. Especially, I'm sure he's got his travel plans.
Yeah. Oh
He's been
yeah.
looking forward to it. And
Yeah. Yeah.
what'd you say his injury was again?
Uh, sport. He's got a
Sports
sports
hernia.
hernia. Sports hernia,
Yeah.
which is a mis kind of term thing because it's a groin tear, from what I understand.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no intestine sticking out or anything like that. It's a groin tear, but they call it a sports hernia.
Yeah. You had asked me uh, about which worlds I had gone to, and I mentioned I didn't go to London because I didn't, or Manchester. I didn't really know what was up. I didn't go to Vegas because I had participated in a CrossFit competition about 3 weeks before Vegas Worlds, and it involved I can't remember. It was like max reps GHDs
Yeah,
and max uh, deadlift.
yeah.
And so I was ripping out like, massive numbers of GHDs. And then I like did a PR on a deadlift. And then I got home and I had my whole abdomen was just poking out.
Oh,
And so I thought, and no pain,
yeah.
but it wasn't a sports hernia. It was the real deal.
Real deal.
And so, yeah, there was no way I could race. So then I had to go have surgery and,
Yes.
with the whole general anesthetic kind.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I
and I
think
thought,
next year.
that's just dumb, right? What were you going to say?
I think next year I'm going to do the Lifetime Games. Have you heard of the Lifetime Games yet?
Yeah, up in Minnesota. There's
Yeah,
some people at my Lifetime Fitness that do it every year.
yeah, yeah. I think I'm going to make the trip next year to go do the Lifetime Game up there. I wanted to do it last year. It kind of escaped me this year, but I think next year I'm going to go do it.
Do you do any CrossFit at all? Or
Not pure CrossFit, but one of the gyms I go
just for,
to, a lot of the movements that we'll do are CrossFit movements,
yeah.
barbell and kettlebell and stuff like that.
And you'll do WODs that are,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of programmed like a CrossFit workout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar.
Because that'll be like the Lifetime Games will be a lot like that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. There's another race too. My wife just showed me, kind of interesting. It combines strength, cardio, balance, but then there's also a mental side where you have to do puzzles and stuff too. And
Is that right?
yeah, it's some kind of new. She showed me she got something in her Instagram about it the other day, so she had to show me it. But I think I think they're gearing it more toward like the over 50 crowd.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I didn't look into it at all. She just showed me it, but it's strength, cardio, balance,
And
and
Jeopardy.
crossword games
I'll be darned.
or crossword puzzles.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear more about that. If you ever find out, shoot me a text.
Oh, my big hang up would be the whatever the puzzles are. That's where I just blow up my game right there.
Yeah, as long as it's not like, historical trivia or something where they're asking questions about Mesopotamia or
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
or physics.
Yes. Oh, physics I do good in.
Well, yeah, that would make sense
Yeah.
given the line of work you chose.
Yes. So.
Not me. Yeah, I became a lawyer too because my physics IQ was in the negative.
Well,
So
all right, Art. Super good to talk to you today. I appreciate you doing the show with me. And great talk to you. And we'll look
yeah,
forward to getting together in Stockholm. We'll get out to dinner with you, and Jeff come out to dinner with us.
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Michael Latoya, right? He's a good friend of ours.
Yeah,
Do you know him at all?
from LA, right? Or Orange County,
Well,
somewhere in there.
yeah, in that more inland than that, but yeah.
Yeah, one of the white shirt judges.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know Mike.
Yeah, I think he's gonna do a lot of. I think he's signed up for. He'll be judging every second he's not racing when he's at Worlds. But if you don't know him that well, maybe we can drag him along with us, and I think you'd enjoy getting to know him better too.
No, I actually know Mike pretty well. We've judged together.
Oh,
We've judged stations together. Every time I race, he's always giving me the fist bump out there when I go by. Yeah, Mike's a good dude. I like Mike a lot. Yeah. He was one of the first guys I met when I ran my first Hyrox race. He was like one of the first guys I met in Chicago or wherever I raced. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great representative for the sport too.
Oh,
I mean, everybody encounters him comes away feeling better about what we're doing.
Yeah, he's in great shape for. How old is Mike? Is he 60?
62.
Yeah, he's in phenomenal.
No, he's 60. He may be 63 now.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because we did doubles together in Chicago at Worlds last year.
Oh, I didn't know that was your partner last year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's now moving into just doing mixed doubles.
Okay. Oh, cool.
So
yeah, we'll have a good group over there in Stockholm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it'd be great. I just counting it down now, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I know for
thanks
us,
for doing this.
I know for us coming from Dallas and Phoenix, where we're used to these hot summers, Stockholm, we're gonna have to bring our winter gear.
Yeah, what's it supposed to be like? Do you have any idea?
Low 70s for the high.
Oh, so it'll be like evenings in Colorado, where it gets down to the 40s.
Yeah. Us Southern folk are gonna be cold.
Yeah.
Bring your long johns.
Yeah, that's it would be prudent to know what the weather is before I go overseas.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
We will.
Well, thanks for spending some time. Hope you have a good weekend.
Yeah, stay in touch, Art.
Feel better. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, take care.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
See you.